These days, the Afghan name is in headlines everywhere.
An Afghan national who served as a soldier for the Afghan army.
This happened after a monster attacked the National Guard in Washington, D.C.
This morning, 2 National Guard members are in critical condition after they were...
immigration history and the vetting process itself.
It's because of the bravery of the men and women of the National Guard.
It was an act of terror.
This is indeed an act of evil, an act of hatred, a crime. Yes, a crime against humanity. Our hearts are with those 2 members of National Guard and their families. But there are some questions need to be answered. Should we blame an entire nation for these individual crimes?
Who entered our country from Afghanistan, a hellhole on earth.
If the US government is saying these crimes are done by terrorist groups, then let's be honest. About 25 years ago, because of the US proxy war with Soviet Union, millions of Afghans lost their lives, their properties, millions were displaced, and the entire country was destroyed. And the US government funded the Mujahideen. Mujahideen killed innocent civilians, kidnapped thousands, and destroyed entire cities, and committed any kind of violence, just you name it.
یعنی ویرانی رسایی کنه خدا دراز تمام زندگی ما رو بود هیچ چیز مونده
After 9/11, US came to Afghanistan just to find one man, Osama bin Laden. But he was never found in Afghanistan. Instead, he was killed in Pakistan.
Possibility that we had located bin Laden hiding within a compound deep inside Pakistan.
In May 2006, there was an accident involving a truck of US Army which caused the death of innocent Afghan civilians. When people protested with stones, US Army killed 20 more civilians. In March 2007, US Army attacked the Taliban in Shinwari district. Even there, the US Army fired bullets at civilians, and 12 innocent civilians were killed. On September 2009 in Kunduz, Taliban hijacked 2 tankers. In response, NATO started an airstrike. 179 people died, and more than 100 of them were civilians. When later civilians were identified, then Germany had to pay compensation of $5,000 to the families of the victims. In 2008, in Haskamena, US Army did an airstrike. By mistake, they bombed a wedding. 47 civilians, including the bride, were killed. On July 2010, WikiLeaks leaked 90,000 US government's documents related to Afghanistan war. Lots of these documents exposed how NATO killed innocent civilians and later told lies to cover their crimes.
US soldier when he opened fire on these Afghan civilians.
They killed a child who was 2 years old. Was this child Taliban? There is no Taliban here. Americans are always threatening us with dogs and helicopters during night raids.
But we said those were just individual war crimes and we never blamed entire American nation for those crimes. The US job was to eradicate the savage terrorists from the roots and not let them grow, but the US never did it. Instead, US governments funded these groups directly and indirectly through Pakistan.
You do admit, sir, that Pakistan has had a long history of backing and supporting and training and funding these terrorist organizations.
Well, we have been doing this dirty work for the United States for about 3 decades,
Even in 2021, US unplanned withdrawal and Doha Agreement led the country into the crisis.
In February 2020, the Trump administration went straight to the Taliban to strike a deal.
And handed over the power to a terrorist group. People in Afghanistan lost everything. Those who worked with NATO had to leave the country, and those who were left behind lost their lives, their human rights, and most of them are still suffering. Particularly women, they can't go out, study, work, and poverty has reached its peak. Apart from that, US government paying millions of dollars to Taliban each week.
Mr. Roman, are you aware that we are sending $40 million a week to the Taliban?
Yes, sir.
This financial support makes these terrorist groups stronger than ever. Also, for those who left the country, there is no specific mental health support as they are traumatized during war. Most of their family members were left behind, and terrorists target them every single day. Instead of giving them enough supports, President Trump tortured them with his speech and new strict immigration policies.
But look, this is how they come in. This is how they're standing on top of each other.
Dear American people, we know Lacanwal's crime is evil and against humanity, but it's not fair to blame entire nation for individual crimes. We love you and we stand together for humanity.